Hi, I'm Melinda Emerson, Small Biz Lady, America's #1 small business expert, and I am excited to welcome you tonight to Small Biz Chat Live. Now, you guys know on Small Biz Chat, we're all about ending small business failure. For the last 9 years, every Wednesday night, I have hosted Small Biz Chat Live on Twitter, but every third Wednesday of the month, we take it live to Facebook. So tonight, I'm broadcasting on my Small Biz Lady fan page on YouTube. And you know we haven't forgotten about my Twitter piece. We love you guys, and we're broadcasting live on Periscope as well. Now, tonight's show would not be possible were it not for our wonderful sponsor, Bumble Biz, which is a brand new section for the Bumble app. Yes, the dating one. But Bumble Biz is all about improving your professional life because you never know where you're going to find your next side hustle, mentor, business partner, or funder. So Bumble Biz is a great way to build your network. So all you have to do, if you're already using Bumble, you can just set up a Bumble Biz profile, or you can download the Bumble app and choose Bumble Biz mode and get started building your network. All right. Now, normally on Twitter, we just have one guest, but when we do Small Biz Chat Live, we bring you 3 experts. And tonight is no exception. We have an amazing show for you. I have sales expert Brynne Tillman. She's going to be here talking about how to leverage your network and how to use your network to build some warm leads. I have Charreah Jackson, who is the relationship editor of Essence Magazine. She has a brand new amazing book out called Boss Bride. She's going to talk to us how to be a boss and get your love life on. So I'm so excited to have her with us. And Mike Michalowicz, the small business expert extraordinaire. You know him. He wrote Toilet Paper Entrepreneur. He wrote The Pumpkin Plan. He wrote cult classic favorite, Profit First. And his brand new book, Clockwork, is about to come out. And he's going to talk to us about how to build a business to run itself. Now, honey, I want to know all about that. All right. So listen, we have an amazing show for you tonight. You guys know that normally we are live on Twitter, but I want you guys to know I still want to take your questions. I want to invite each one of you to leave us comments because I can't do this unless I'm giving you what you need. So I've got 3 amazing experts. If there's anything that they say or that you want more information about, leave me a comment, share this video, let people know that we're out here trying to fix small businesses one entrepreneur at a time. So with that, I am so excited to bring to you guys our first guest of the evening. She is a longtime friend of mine. She and I met way back in the day when I was just teaching people how to become a Twitter ninja, and she was teaching people how to become a LinkedIn diva like her. And I'm so excited that she's here with us tonight because she is a top sales expert and networking pro. She is the author of the Amazon bestseller, The LinkedIn Sales Playbook, a tactical guide to social selling. And as a career sales professional herself, Brynne bridges the gap between traditional sales, networking, and social media. So she is an amazing expert. So Brynne, I want to welcome you to Small Biz Chat Live tonight. All right, Brynne, try that again. I want to welcome you to Small Biz Chat tonight.
Well, I'm still excited to be here. This is so much fun to be here with you, Melinda. Thanks for having me.
All right, now I just want to jump right in because I just want to get all the nook and crannies out of you that we can tonight. Now, I know that everyone says that your net worth is your net worth, right? But you still have to cultivate your network, right? So what is the difference, you think, between networking online and offline for small business owners?
Well, that's a great question. Typically, I'll tell small business owners, I want you to look at online very similar to offline and real world because there is a person at the other side of those profiles. And I think it's absolutely vital that they treat it the same way. For example, on LinkedIn, if you connect with someone and never start a conversation, that's like walking up to someone at a networking event, handing them a business card and walking away and barely even saying hello. So you want to really think about what is it that makes networking work? And it's really about the relationships that you're building. And you want to think about that online as well.
So at the end of the day, it's about like, know, and trust no matter how you're meeting people. Is that what you're saying?
Well, so there's no like and trust for sure, but then there's also on social, you want to attract, teach, and engage to get them to know, like, and trust you.
Okay, attract, teach, and engage. I like that. So now, when it comes to how you use technology to connect with your network, I mean, so I went to a networking event, I met you. What should I do next in terms of how I leverage technology to, link up with you better?
Well, obviously, the first thing we want to do is follow them on Twitter, connect with them on LinkedIn. But I typically go to a networking meeting looking for the next referral source where I can find someone that I can make introductions for them and they can make them for me. So once we've identified those people, and it won't be everyone that you meet, but maybe a couple at a meeting, we want to then connect with them on LinkedIn, set up a coffee meeting, and invite them to look through our connections, make a list of people they might know that they might want to meet. I can make a list of who they know that I might want to meet. We can review them when we're together and make some real strategic introductions for one another. And to me, that's the ultimate use of leveraging social and networking.
That's really good. I mean, whenever I go to a networking event, my goal is 5 people. Like once I make 5 quality connections, I'm good, because the real deal is you don't have time to follow up with more than 5 people after an event anyhow. So that's always, my goal is 5. Now, whenever I go to a networking event though, and I have some sense of who might be there, I also strategically go looking for people too. Like, I try to get there early. Like if you get there late to a networking event, forget about it. Or if you show up without your business card, boo, forget about that too. Like that's like, leaving home without putting on deodorant. Like you should not do that, right? So that's how I approach networking events. But, what would you say is like your number one networking tactic? Like when you go to a live networking event, like what's your number one thing that you're doing when you get there?
Well, I never go alone. I actually will always go with someone that is not in my company, not a colleague per se, but someone that I can refer and that I appreciate. Sometimes it would be a client or a vendor even. And we go prepared with the goal that I will be introducing her to other people and she'll be looking for me. So when I'm talking with someone, instead of talking about me, I will talk about her business and then say, you know what, I've got to introduce you. So that's one of my favorite tactics because it really brings people together in a way that feels we're not pitching our own stuff. And when you come in referred like that, people really listen.
That's an excellent idea. Now let's get back to that networking online stuff. So, what are your top 3 go-tos for networking online?
That's an interesting question. So all top 3 would probably be on LinkedIn, but using it differently. So for networking online, the first one we sort of talked about a little bit, but I meet with at least one person a week and exchange warm introductions for one another. That's my number one. Number 2, I go to my clients once a week, once every other week. I'll make a list of the people that my clients know that I want to meet and ask them if I can review those names by them and run them by them. And eventually, if I have 7 to 10 names, I'll get 2 to 3 introductions from those. And the third thing is to engage on content. And now LinkedIn is using hashtags. Thank goodness, it's about time. They're using hashtags so you can find content based on hashtags and you can get into conversations around content. And I think that's a fabulous way to network.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. Now, if I had to give you my top 3, clearly, I'm all about Twitter. So I always start with Twitter. Then I go to LinkedIn, and I really like Bumble Biz. Like I'm a newer user to Bumble Biz, but I actually like it. And I've been getting some interesting sales leads, from using Bumble Biz or finding a vendor that I'm looking for. So I actually really like Bumble Biz too.
I'm excited to download that.
Yeah. So now let's talk about social selling, because I think there's a misnomer out here about what social selling is. And I've seen some really bad practice out here too. So I wanted to know if you could kind of really drill down for us, what is social selling? Because in my world, nobody wants to be sold to. So how are we doing it now?
So I love that. And really, we start with the high level goal. And your high level goal is to have more meaningful conversations with targeted buyers. But we need to do that in a way that's relevant to them. So social selling to me really covers a few things that all lead back to the goal of more conversation. So I know we don't want to be sold on LinkedIn, but we do need to close for the phone call. And we have to keep that in mind because we're never going to sell anything. And then it's just social media. It's not social selling. Now, there are 4 things that you need to focus on: your brand and how you show up, how you engage your network, how you are prospecting, and the thought leadership and content that goes out there. Once we have that in place and we are being seen as a thought leader and a subject matter expert, and by the way, that's the goal of your profile, and everything you put out there is provide insights and real value to your network so that they're begging to have a phone call with you. And that you set up phone calls by really, you have a real authentic conversation and then say, hey, I'd love to share some insights specific to your organization. Let's hop on a call. Even if we don't work together, I'm going to provide some real value. And then that call has to be full of real value, not a sales call.
Right, right. I love it. I love it. But listen, Brynne, we're going to put a pin in that right now because we've got to throw the break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about engagement. So it's going to be great. So listen, I'm Melinda Emerson. I'm the Small Biz Lady, and you are watching Small Biz Chat Live, and we will be right back.
Hi, I'm Melinda Emerson, Small Biz Lady. I know you might be thinking about quitting your business and going back into corporate America, but wait, before you give up, my new book, Fix Your Business, could give you a whole new lease on life. My 12 P's of running a successful business will walk you through step by step how to grow your business revenue, how to hire great people and streamline your processes, and so much more. Grab a copy today of Fix Your Business and get your life back.
Hi, I'm Melinda Emerson, and welcome back to Small Biz Chat Live. We are talking with Brynne Tillman, sales expert, LinkedIn expert, networking pro extraordinaire, and she's going to talk to us about how to leverage, trust online and engagement, LinkedIn, all that good stuff. So, Brynne, I want to jump right back into you and really just go after, how do we build trust online?
Well, the first thing you have to do is stop pitching. So as long as you're pitching online, you're losing all kinds of trust. The real way that you build trust online is to provide value and to really come at it from the buyer's perspective. Understand what's important to your buyer and provide insights around that. There's a saying from Challenger Sale that you want to make sure that you lead to your solution, not with your solution. When you lead with your solution, you're telling them why you should buy from me, why you should hire me. When you lead to your solution, you're dropping breadcrumbs with great tips and strategies and insights and things that really make an impact, really a vendor agnostic impact. So meaning they don't have to hire you to get value from it. And that's how you really build trust, when you can help someone even if you never talk to them.
That's awesome. So let's just flip over to LinkedIn. Like, what is the right way to introduce yourself on LinkedIn? Because I know I have almost 10,000 connections on LinkedIn, and I cannot tell you how many times I accepted someone, and then 2 seconds later I get this like crazy pitch email that made me like try to learn to figure out how to unconnect from somebody on LinkedIn. So yeah. Can you talk about the right way to introduce yourself to a new contact on LinkedIn?
Well, don't connect to someone just because you want to sell them. That's the first thing. I mean, this is networking. Do you go to a network meeting thinking I'm going to sell everyone in this room? We don't. We're excited if we meet someone that there's an opportunity, but that's by chance. Typically, we go to a networking meeting to meet people, to build your network, to build trusted partners that can ultimately refer business. That's the way I look at networking, where we could be referral partners back and forth. So you want to look at that online. You also want to provide value pretty quickly. I have a couple of welcome messages that I send people. It's got a blog post or some kind of real content that has nothing to do with buy from me. It's pure value. If they like that, I mean, I get thank yous for leading them to my content. And that's the way you start to build the trust that we talked about before, start to build those relationships, and ultimately build a network of people that really see the credibility and the value that you can bring to them and to their network.
So I really appreciate that, because that's really helpful. So do you use like some kind of automated autoresponder to send information back to people?
So I actually think, well, first of all, autoresponders break the LinkedIn user agreement, so we can't do that. But I do have templated messages that I customize occasionally.
Okay.
So, and I use a Chrome extension called Auto Text Expander, and it stores all my templates, so I have short codes. And on my phone, did you ever type like something, it says, I'm in a meeting, I'll call you later? You can control those short codes. So you can go in there and paste all of your welcome templates and links to great resources. And with just a couple of short codes, you can welcome people into your network right from your phone.
I love it. I love it. All right. This is my last question, because I've got to go move on. But tell me, what is the best LinkedIn tip that you have for people out here?
Oh, the best LinkedIn tip, I would say, first and foremost, is move your profile from a resume to a resource. Nobody cares about your years in business, your mission, your passion yet. What they care about is how you can help them. And so if you can be a resource, you're going to move them closer to you as a vendor of choice.
Thank you so much, Brynne. That is actually really, really helpful. I know that I'm ready to use LinkedIn smarter myself. And listen, up next, we're going to be talking with Charreah Jackson, and she has literally written a book on how to be the boss in your personal and your professional life. This is Small Biz Chat Live. I'm Melinda Emerson, and we will be right back. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Small Biz Chat Live. Normally, we are live on Twitter, but the third Wednesday of the month, we are live everywhere. Tonight, I'm broadcasting from my Small Biz Lady fan page, YouTube, and Twitter. So please, if we're saying something that's working for you, leave us a comment. If you want more information from any of my guests, leave me a comment, share this video, let people know that we are out here. I am so excited to talk to my next guest, Charreah Jackson. She is the author of this book. If you guys can't see it, it is Boss Bride, and it's blowing up everywhere. I'm so excited that we were able to even get on her calendar to get her here tonight. Charreah is the relationship and editor for Essence magazine, and she inspires more than 13 million women who subscribe to Essence every single month. And now she has written this amazing book about how to be a boss bride, a powerful woman's playbook for love and success. I have my copy, and I got to tell you guys, this is a good book. And I am married, divorced, single. I'm a mom. Like, look, this book actually even helped me. So listen, y'all need to get on this. Boss Bride, it's amazing. So I Charreah, there is so much to talk about. I want to jump right in, because listen, it's hard out here for boss chicks. It's hard. I need you to inspire us. Give us some hope, girl. Okay, so I listen. It is hard to have a great business and a great partner, but we should not give up hope. And I will tell me why.
Well, first of all, thank you. It's such an honor. I'm a Small Biz Chat alum and family, and so it's so good to be here with you live tonight. And as you said, one of the reasons I wrote the book was for women like you, women who were killing it in their careers, who really were setting this world on fire, and were wondering if it was possible, would I have to sacrifice the desires of my heart to have the sexy career that I want. And so I set out to answer the questions for that I had. And so absolutely it's possible. I gathered all the evidence that yes, it is possible to be the phenomenal small biz lady that you are and so many of your audience are, and also know there's space in your life to have that great love. It will require us to be strategic. It will require us to be intentional, just as we are in our businesses. And what I did find is a lot of those strategies that work to have success in your business, you can bring some of those habits into your personal life.
All right, well, let's jump in here, because I know that there are a lot of women business owners and business owners, period, that are divorced.
Yes.
So I need you to, and some of the most successful business women I know never got married at all. So yes. I need you to help me understand.
Break that down to say, because you're saying, and it's funny, that was one of the things that I was seeing as well. But once I realized, Secrets of Six-Figure Women really broke down a lot of women in that book talked about. It went two ways, right? You either had married well and you had someone who was your number one cheerleader, or the reverse. So the research does show that the person who you decide to partner with absolutely will impact your professional success. The problem is we've been trained around businesses. We have resources like this for our business. We're not often being as intentional and educated to make decisions so that you don't have to, so that you can be in a relationship that forwards your business and doesn't take away. And so that reality is true. But as you know, I definitely saw this as kismet. I didn't know that Bumble Biz would be the partner. I love Bumble. I use Bumble. I spoke at Bumble's Southwest event down in Austin this year. And one of the things they bring to the forefront is the impact of having the right people, but to also give yourself permission to be in environments with the type of quality person you deserve. So one of the things that, particularly for your boss chicks, I need you when it comes to your personal life not to act like you're not the boss chick that you are. And so the same way you're leveling up professionally, we have to level up not your dating pool, but your single seed. So yeah, it might be a little bit more difficult for a professional woman to find that right person, but part of my job is to make sure you're expanding your circle so you can meet the quality person. Because if you got $1 million in the bank for your business, if you have corporate contracts, you've already broken the norm. You have already done the sort of the incredible, amazing. So it's not so much to ask that there be one person on this planet of 7 billion people that you could have some compatibility with.
All right, Charreah. All right. Now, listen, you say that there are 3 types of relationships for boss chicks. Tell us what they are.
Yeah, and that was one of the things. The reality is I talked about there's 3 types of common relationships, because this book is not just me talking. I interviewed more than 100 working wives, women who were having professional success, women I admired, who also were in healthy relationships. And I wanted to know, it's working for you. What can we learn from your relationship? And what I found from studying their relationships, there are 3 common types of relationships for powerful professional women. The first is a companion. I found a lot of women, look at Oprah and Stedman. They're not necessarily partners in her business. You don't see him popping up on OWN. He's her companion. And he makes sure that when she's off the clock, when she's not running a network, that she has someone to talk to, engage with, someone to go to galas. And then there's a partnership. That's Michelle and Barack Obama. You see them, we're running for, basically that was their presidency, where you see that they're all in, not just on a personal level, but what's happening for you professionally, I'm involved with that as well. And it's more of an equality and a more integration within that relationship. And the third relationship, after you have some women want a companion, some people want a partner, and some want a provider. And this is when there's one partner, when there's one person in that relationship who really takes on the responsibility for that unit. Often it's financially, but they're really sort of the leader guiding where that union goes. Often, traditionally, it has been the men, but we are seeing women who are comfortable being in a provider role and taking that on in their relationship. And so those 3, but it's important that you, get clear on what you desire, because some women want more than a companion. You want someone who's coming, you come home, what happened with your client? And some women are like, once I'm home, I want to keep things separate. And so you have to be clear on that, because it will dictate how you date.
All right. So now you're saying if I know that I want a partner, you're saying that there are hot spots to meet.
Yes.
You're supportive.
It's literally I'm thinking about it.
List, okay. I need you to tell us
there's so many hot spots.
The Home Depot and pretend like I don't know where the stuff is. What
Listen, there's one thing, the hot spots you want to check out, and you talk about something else, which is checking your checklist. So for my professional women, particularly if you're single and ready to really attract love at a higher level, check your checklist. That's in chapter 3. But later in chapter 3, which is called Date Like a Pro, I give you my hotspots for as a boss bride dater. And so some of those hotspots actually Bumble. I've gone on first dates in Paris. I've gone on first date in South Africa, all thanks to Bumble. And so I'm definitely pro the app, but any type of digital platform. MC Light met her husband on an online site. Like, you want to be open, because the thing about online dating is it gives you a chance to be in the single seat while you're asleep. And so particularly if you're busy, you want to make sure you're keeping your options open. Now, particularly for women like you, Melinda, my busy, savvy women, travel hubs. And so you really want to up level and get your gold card, take advantage of traveling, get in those lounges and meet some incredible people. Also conferences, go to hotel bars, go to the best hotel bar in your town. You often meet people who are traveling, because so much of this conversation is not just about who you know, it's about who they know. So even when you meet someone, you're like, oh, he's not my type, he's a little shorter, he lives in Cincinnati, so what? You don't know if his cousin is your husband. Stay open and let people know what you're looking for.
I love it. I love it. All right. Now give me your top 3 tips for breadwinning wives. Like, if
yes.
you money than your dude, what do you do? How do you handle that?
First of all, you have to know that you are in almost we're really at the tipping point for that to be a majority. More than 40% of American households have a female breadwinner. So the first thing you have to do as a female breadwinner is embrace your reality. You have nothing to be ashamed about, and you're a part of really a new frontier for women, and it is not a bad thing. The second thing you have to do as a female breadwinner is you really have to resist other people's opinions. So often the stress that female breadwinners feel is not from their partner, it's from everybody else. What your mama, his cousin, all these other voices who are not a part of your union. So if they don't have a vote, if they're not putting money in that household, they don't have conversation. So you really have to block that out. And one of the third and most critical things you have to do as a female breadwinner is you really do have to discuss and identify your roles. Because one of the things I found interviewing so many powerful women who were breadwinners was the myth that just because they were making more money or they were successful in their career didn't mean when they went home they wanted to run everything at home. But your partner might not automatically know that. So you want to have those conversations as a unit, and also make sure that you're pooling your resources, because once you decide to get married, it's not just about what you make, but it's really the unit's money.
I love it. I love it. You are dropping so many gems here, but I got to put a pin in it because we got to go to commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to be talking about boss chicks, babies, birth control, all that stuff. So stay with us, Emerson, and you are watching Small Biz Chat Live, and we're going to be right back.
My new book, Fix Your Business, is really about encouraging people to take back control of their business and change how their businesses is run. It's not okay to skip paychecks. It's not okay to never feel like you can take a vacation. And it's also not okay to not know how much profit you've made in your business until your taxes are done. I really want business owners to stop letting their businesses be runaway trains. I've written this book to teach people processes and systems to help them run their businesses intentionally. My goal is to help existing entrepreneurs create a business that allows them to live their dream life.
Hi, I'm Melinda Emerson, Small Biz Lady, and you are back with Small Biz Chat Live. We are talking with Charreah Jackson, and we are talking about being the boss, babies, and birth control. Oh my. Ms. Charreah, you dropped some real pearls on us just a minute ago, but now I want you to talk to our audience, who might not be the type that are, running these well-funded businesses. If you're running a bootstrapped business, which means you have self-funded it, and there's not maybe necessarily money for nannies and all kinds of other stuff, how do you start a family while you're running a startup business? How do you do that? How do you manage that?
I love that you asked that question. And it was such an important topic that I put an entire chapter in the book. Chapter 7 is called Tend to Your Ticking Clock and Your Sex Drive. Because the reality is, to be a professional woman, the best years for you often to grow your business are also some of your best years to conceive if you choose to have a children. And so I am definitely a proud feminist, but there's no way around the reality that our fertility is finite. And so with that being the case, for a lot of women who I interviewed, it was really about managing your resources and owning that reality. And so I talk about egg freezing for women who are like, I really don't want to do it right now. Explore your options. There are options available. And if you are a woman who's like, I do want to add this new role of being a mother while also scaling my business, know that it will require you to have the highest levels of support. And so what we know, and I'm so happy for the work you do, is all around reminding small business owners that they need a team. And when it comes to women and you do want to add that marriage, add that role of being a mother, you definitely have to be supported at a higher level. You have to leverage every resource available to you, because you do have rights within the corporate sector. And as you go out into your own business, you do have the ability to tap into some incredible resources. So you definitely want to have your community.
Well, I hear you. I appreciate that. But listen, I was 26 when I started my first business. I got married when I was 27, but I didn't have my son until I was 33. I waited 5 years to have my son because I had another baby that had all of my attention, and it was my business. And so now it's been 19 years that I've been in business. But look, when I turned 32 and got pregnant with my son, I ended up with a high risk pregnancy on bed rest. And we almost lost everything that year because my family's entire income came out of my business. So it's no small thing to be running a business and then all of a sudden, find yourself pregnant. And so I really want to give some real thought to, you know, what kinds of support systems do you need to have in place when you pull the trigger, or sometimes the trigger gets pulled for you. You never know.
Absolutely. And I love that, one of the resources, I'm a student of yours. So in your Become Your All Boss in 12 months, in your digital online course portion, you take us through that life plan piece. And I think that's the critical piece, what you're speaking to, is we have to incorporate that in your life plan, because the same year that I'm trying to put this book out, I have planned not to have a baby. And so where we often lose so much ground is we're planning way more professionally, and then we let our personal lives plan themselves. And so I actually have birth control for busy women in the book, because there are some incredible options. You're not necessarily a teenager anymore. What you were using in college might not be what you need in your lifestyle now. And so I want women to explore an IUD, which will give you, at least 5 years of contraception. So that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Look into the ring, look into other options, because to Melinda's point, the same way your business baby requires such a high investment, that physical baby requires not even just the financial, but that time piece. And so I appreciate you for not under emphasizing how important this part of your life is. And for women who are thinking about it, part of my other side is to tell you, make sure that if it is something that you do desire, that you plan for it. Because I encounter a lot of women who didn't plan for it, and then later in life are having that regret.
Yeah, I mean, but there's definitely women who said, you know what? I'm going to be an awesome auntie, right? Yeah. There's definitely women who said, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to pour it all into my business and find my companion, and we're going to have a great life, and we're going to travel. And there is nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong. And then you always have the right to change your mind. I love that Holder from the Today Show just celebrated her birthday. She adopted a baby girl at 52. And so no matter where you are, your dreams can come true. They might come true at different times in different ways, but definitely, to your point, everything is possible, but it's a very personal decision that we want to be thinking about.
Well, I cannot shout out enough your new book, Boss Chicks. It is a great read, and it's actually really, really helpful information. So if you're thinking about, your next move career-wise, your next move in your love life, check it out. And Charreah, thank you so much, and hang in there, because we're going to bring you back for our awesome panel at the end of our show. But right now, I have to tell you that you have just inspired all the boss chicks out there to know that there is love for them. So you have to believe God's promise that he has a partner for you if that's what you want. All right. So now up next, we're going to be talking to Mike Michalowicz, my boy, my college classmate, Mike Michalowicz, who is going to talk to us about his new book, Clockwork, because he believes you should build a business that can run itself. So listen, don't go away. I have an amazing show still left for you. This is Melinda Emerson, and you are watching Small Biz Chat Live.
Are you tired of struggling in your business, not taking a paycheck, dreading dealing with your business in the morning? Are you regretting even starting your business in the first place? Well, I know you're tired, and I also remember what that kind of tired is like. But the good news is, it's time to stop feeling that way. Stop! I'm Melinda Emerson, Small Biz Lady, and my new book, Fix Your Business, is a 90-day turnaround plan to get back your life and reduce chaos in your business. I've been in business nearly 20 years, and let me teach you how to build a business that works for you. Grab a copy today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melinda Emerson, the Small Biz Lady, and welcome back to Small Biz Chat Live. Now, tonight, I have saved the best for last for you. My boy, Mike Michalowicz, is here. His brand new book, Clockwork, comes out next week, and he's giving us a sneak preview of how to build a business that will run itself. Now, Mike has written several books that have been huge. He started with the Toilet Paper Entrepreneur. Then he wrote The Pumpkin Plan. My favorite line in The Pumpkin Plan is, it's all about seed selection. All right. He can talk to you about that. And then he came back with this book, Profit First, which has created a profit first revolution all over the country. Now, small business owners have a profit account, not just an operating account, not just an expense account. They have a profit account. And it's because of what Mike has taught us. And now he's back with Clockwork, and he's going to give us a preview and really just talk about, how we all can run better businesses that are going to stop stressing us out. Y'all know I believe in that, because that's why I wrote my book, Fix Your Business, because I am tired of folks dreading going to their business every day. So Mike, welcome. I want to point out that I'm rocking these colors tonight because of you, because these are Virginia Tech colors, and we are Virginia Tech alum. So I had to rock.
And I'm wearing the shirt. Like, I'm like coming on your show. I'm like, I am getting out of the suit for once, and I am throwing on the alumni shirt. Go Hokies.
Yes, go Hokies is right. They are proud of us little alums. We out here doing our thing, repping the school. So listen, let's talk business. So tell me, what are the top 3 issues that you think cause most small businesses to struggle?
Yeah, well, the first thing is the entrepreneur thinks they need to do everything themselves, right? I mean, they just plug away, and the entire burden of the business is on the owner's back. And the day they're sick, the day they can't work, the business is out of business. A lot of people say their business relationship is a parent-child relationship. That's bull. It's not that way. You're not growing a child that's going to one day walk on its own and feed you back. We are conjoined twins. We share critical organs, vital organs. We share legs. We need to surgically separate ourselves so the business can run on its own. That's the number one thing. The number 2 thing is going into a vocation that we have experience and knowledge about, but not a vision about. It's being the technician. Oh, I know how to bake pies, therefore I'll start a bakery. But what's our vision? That's the bigger thing. And the third thing is, people don't focus on profit. They focus on sales. They think that we can grow into profit, but sales represents stress. The more we sell, the more responsibility we have to deliver. Therefore, more sales, more responsibility, more stress. We have to focus on the other element, which is profitability.
All right. So what is the first thing a small business owner should do if they're trying to create a profitable business strategy?
Yeah. So what I say is counterintuitive, but take your profit first. Actually, I dedicated a book to this, as you know. When we have a sale, immediately take a predetermined percentage of your profit and hide it away from yourself. Run your business off the remainder. What we're doing is we're flipping the formula. We've been told for years, since the invention of accounting, that sales minus expenses equals profit. We're told profit comes last. And when something comes last, it never happens. What I'm saying is that sales minus profit equals expenses. Take your profit first, hide it away. Then you are now reverse engineering that profitability and have to assure you can get there through the remainder.
I love it. I love it. No, you're absolutely right. Now, what do you think is, you believe that, it's all about people not putting profit into their business model. So is it just about taking this percentage, or is it about looking at what you sell, how much you're selling, how much you're charging? I mean,
Yeah. So what it is about is not reinvesting or plowing back profit. So a lot of business owners tell me, oh, I had a good year. I had some profit. And I said, well, what did you do with it? And they said, well, I plowed it back into the business. I reinvested. We pushed it back. Those are all very soft terms for saying it's not profit. It's an expense. You see, we as small business owners have built a business to achieve financial independence. Financial independence is where you get a salary representative of the work you're committing, a high-level employee effectively, and as the equity owner of the business, meaning you started the business, you are getting a reward. That's the profit distribution. So when the profit comes out, you celebrate with it. And you define celebration. Maybe it's a nice dinner out if it's a small profit. Maybe it's savings for your future, or maybe it's something magnificent. But you must reward yourself. And the business must master the discipline of living off of what's really available for it, the true expenses.
I love it. I love it. So your new book, Clockwork, is, you say it is possible to build a business that can run itself. Help me with that.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, I spent the last 6 years researching this out. I think I'm in a unique position. I've had the good fortune of building and selling a couple companies, and I operate a third one now. I'm on the board of an augmented reality company, a tech company, a manufacturing company. I own a membership, two membership organizations. As is, I've experienced a lot, and mostly through failure, right? I've lost tons and tons of money and actually put myself into poverty. What I have found throughout this process is that when I tried to elevate the business off my own effort, they failed. When I was able to have the business run off of other people's efforts, it was successful. What I believe every business owner needs to do, and even if you're a solopreneur, we need to find ways for other people and other resources to move the business forward and break free of it ourselves. We must move to a visionary, a strategic, and a technical type of person, and we should not be the doer anymore. And that's why I wrote Clockwork.
I love it. I love it. All right. So talk to me about the queen bee role.
Oh, you know what I'm talking about. When we were back in college, we were talking about this. I was, kidding around. We were dated for a little bit. It was just a short stint. But
you know what? You need to stop telling that lie.
I know. You get so fired up every single time. Like, would you stop that, Mike? One day you'll believe it was true. My fantasy will. So
Dream Melinda dated you. Dream Melinda. That's
you're my queen bee. Here's what the queen bee role is. The queen bee role is the core function of every business. I took it from beehives. A beehive has a specific role. It's laying eggs that keeps the beehive surviving. The queen bee happens to be serving that. Every bee knows they need to protect that role. I am not saying the queen bee is the most important person, air quotes, for a beehive, but I'm saying that role of laying eggs is most important. Every business has a singular, most important job function that the business hinges its success on. Here's how you find it. What is your brand promise? What are you known for? FedEx is known for delivering packages on time, every time. Now, peel the onion back one layer. The core function, the laying of eggs that supports that, is logistics. FedEx knows they must invest everything in making the logistics work. The day that is compromised, the entire company is compromised. In our businesses, what's the one thing you're known for? Peel back the onion. Determine what's the one function that's delivering on that. Protect it. Every employee must know it needs to be protected. And if it's slacking, the business is dying.
I love it. I love it. All right. So what is the 4D mix?
4D mix. So I discovered that there's 4 stages of running a business, and they're all D's. First is doing. Entrepreneurs start their business or doing the work. The next stage is actually called deciding. Deciding, and you've been there, you hire an employee or a contractor, you tell them to do something, they come back a second later with questions, and you make decisions for them. It can be very frustrating. Actually, some entrepreneurs say, you know what, these employees are idiots. Why do I have employees? I'm going to go back to doing. And they get stuck between doing and deciding. The next level up is called delegating. Delegating is not what most people think it is. It's not the assignment of tasks. Delegating is the assignment of outcomes. It's telling my employees, here's the expectation of your job responsibility, navigate the way there, and when there's problems, find your way through it and innovate new ideas. That's the assignment of outcomes. And the final D is designing. That's what the entrepreneur needs to do. Designing is where we specify a very clear vision, the intention for our organization. Then on a weekly, monthly, daily basis, we're making tactical, strategic decisions to move our resources, our people in alignment. We orchestrate our team to get to that vision.
All right. And then tell me about the ACDC model. See, this is a little bit unfair because I've got a chance to preview your book and other people haven't, but I tried to pull out some juicy stuff. Tell us, what is the ACDC model?
Yeah, so nothing to do with the band, but about just as awesome as the band. ACDC is the flow every organization goes through. Again, you could be a solopreneur, you could have 1,000 employees or anyone in between, and you can be in any type of business, and we all go through the flow of ACDC. A stands for attracting prospects. You must do that. The next stage is the C, which is converting prospects into clients. You must do that. D stands for delivering. It's delivering on our promises, either a product or a service. And the last C is collect the money due to us. At any business, at any given time, one of those is the biggest challenge in our business. So look at your current business model, look at the flow of the ACDC and say, where are things getting stuck now? Fix that component and the entire business elevates. Then a new problem will present itself in one of the ACDCs. It's a very quick and easy way to analyze our business, identify the area of a problem, fix it, and elevate the entire business.
All right. Now tell me, what is the best advice that you can give a business owner today? Like, what is your best nugget you got?
All right. This is gutsy. I want you to take a 4-week vacation. And I know you might be having a heart attack just hearing that, but here's the deal. When you declare a 4-week vacation, and I'm saying a physical disconnect and a digital disconnect, you must align your business to make that a reality. Why? Most businesses go through all cycles of business in 4 weeks: collections, hiring, firing, getting new prospects and clients. If you declare a 4-week vacation, you will have an instant mind shift and say, oh my God, how am I going to pull this off? Then you have to start aligning your people, your teams, your contractors, and resources to make that a reality. I'm not saying go on a 4-week vacation tomorrow, but I'm saying a 1.5 to 2 years from now, that better be in your calendar. You better commit to your children and your friends that you're making this happen. And sure enough, you'll start aligning your business with a business that can run itself and not be dependent on you.
All right. Clockwork comes out next week. Where can we get it?
Anywhere. That's the beautiful thing. Amazon's got the best price always, but you can get it. Barnes & Nobles, any bookstore, airports will have it. But I suggest Amazon to get it right now. And if you want to get it early, go to clockwork.life. That's clockwork.life. And I got free resources, free stuff there right now today.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, listen, Mike Michalowicz, you know I love you to pieces, and I love it when you come out with some new dropping knowledge on folks. So I cannot wait to help my audience get copies of Clockwork, because
thank you.
I know it's going to be a smash. And listen, I don't want anybody to go away, because when we come back, all 3 of my guests are going to come back, and we're going to do a lightning round that we call Hit It and Quit It. So you guys don't miss it. Come back. This is Small Biz Chat Live. I'm Melinda Emerson. Stay with us. Welcome back to Small Biz Chat Live. I'm Melinda Emerson, and I am so excited to have all 3 of our guests back: Brynne Tillman, Charreah Jackson, and Mike Michalowicz, my hokey brother. I am so excited to talk to you guys. Now we're going to do a segment that we call Hit It and Quit It. And so here's how it works. Each of you are going to be asked the exact same question. You only have 30 seconds to answer, and you cannot repeat an answer from another guest. All right. So if you do, we got a buzzer for you. So we're going to cut you off. All right. So I need you guys to know that this is how we lighten it up a little bit from all that serious business talk we've been doing. Okay. So the first question that I have, and I'm coming, Brynne Tillman, to you first. So I'm going to give you a chance to cheat a little bit. What is your favorite old school networking tip? Favorite old school networking tip? Brynne, I'm coming to you.
Well, one of them is if you enter a group of people that are talking, truly listen. And the first thing you should do when the eyes go to you is make sure you say something that's about what they were talking about first versus you. I really love what you said about, and all of a sudden you become that much more valuable to them.
Love it, love it, love it. Charreah, what's your favorite old school networking tip?
Get the card. You would be surprised lately. I've had so many people who come, introduce themselves, and hand me their card and walk away. And I'm like, you don't want to give away the control. You want to control the conversation. So make sure you get their info. It's more important that you get cards than you give cards.
Love it, love it, love it. Mike Michalowicz, what you got for me? What's your favorite old school tip?
When someone asks you a question, what do you do? Don't tell them. Instead, respond with a question saying, have you ever wondered? And then talk about your business. So when someone asks me, what do you do? I say, have you ever wondered why so few businesses are profitable? And they say, I say, I fixed that. And it starts a great conversation.
I love it. I love it. That's good, good stuff. All right. Now I'm coming back to you, Charreah. What is the best way to whether or not you have a great business idea or just a hobby? Like, how do you know if it's a hustle or if
it's one simple thing? The difference between a hustle and a hobby is what comes between it. A check. Well, who's paying you for it? Can you get paid in the next week to do it? Because we spend and I've had some expensive hobbies that were just that, a hobby. But if it's taking you too long to get paid to do it, then it's just that.
All right, Mike Michalowicz, how do you know whether or not you got a legitimate idea or an expensive hobby?
Yeah, so friends buy expensive hobbies, strangers buy great ideas. So if you have strangers buying from you, they are speaking the truth. I was saying, don't trust people's words. That's what your friends give you. Great idea. Trust people's wallets. So trust strangers in this case.
I love it. I love it. Brynne, how do you know if you got a legitimate business or you pretending you mistaken busyness for business? How do you know?
Yeah, I always look at there are three things to ask yourself. Number one, do you love it? Number two, are you really good at it? And number three, will someone pay you for it? So if you can meet all three of those, you potentially have a business.
I love it. I love it. All right. Next question. Mike, I'm coming to you first. When you create a top tier business target, what is the best way to get in front of them? Once you decide, okay, I want to do business with Comcast or somebody, how do you get in front of them? What's the best way to do it?
It's shocking. You can play to people's egos, ask for their feedback on your idea. Actually, that's how I got in with a major player when I had my forensics business, computer crime investigation. It's one of the biggest law firms in the world. I called him up. So we have a new approach to capturing forensic data. We'd love to get your feedback. The executive leader of the organization wanted to meet with me personally to answer me, and it plays into ego.
Love it. Love it. Ask them for their advice. I love it. All right, Brynne, this plays directly to what your expertise is. How do you get in front of a big target that you got?
You figure out who in your network knows who you're looking to meet and leverage that relationship to get a warm introduction.
Love it. Love it. It doesn't get much simpler than that. Go through your network. Who knows this person? All right, Charreah, you had the opportunity to walk through Oprah's backyard. So what I want to know, when you decided that you wanted to meet Oprah, what did you do to make that happen, girl?
Well, first off, I got ready to meet Oprah because, to tell you the truth, before I ever said, hey, I want to meet Oprah, I didn't make sure it happened. So once I said it, I started preparing my speech as if she was walking through the room, some side door. And one day she walked through that side door and I made that connection. So you really mentally have to prepare before you can physically get in that room.
I love it. I love it. So you got to decide, you got to have your personal
conversation. I had my little speech in my pocket ready. I said, you're not going to catch me slipping twice.
I love it. I love it. All right. Now I'm coming back to you, Charreah, for this one first. What is your give us a personal motivational tip. What do you do to pump yourself up every day?
Well, I've got my playlist. I've also got, one of the biggest shifts happened when I realized this one mantra Support is all around me. Everyone is on my team. Even the crabby bus driver, even the boss you don't like everything that is feeling resistant is actually building muscles for you. And so once I started to realize everybody is here to help me, it shifted how I experience people.
I love it. I love it. All right, Mike Michalowicz, what is your best motivational tip? How do you pump yourself up?
Yeah, so it's a little quote I have above my computer from Oscar Wilde. He said, "Be yourself. Everyone else is already taken." And I think that's genius. There's opportunity within all of us.
I love that. I really appreciate that, because there is something to be said for becoming comfortable in your own skin. I truly, truly embrace that and receive that. Brynne, what about you? Give me a motivational tip. How do you pump yourself up?
Well, my goal every single day is to make sure that I've learned something new and I've applied it. So my whole day is searching for that new thing that I get to apply to my life.
I like that. I like that, because it's not enough to read stuff. It's like you got to do it. You got to add it to your repertoire. I love that. One of the things that I do to personally motivate myself is I try to start my day in calmness. I do not sleep with a cell phone at my head. My cell phone is downstairs. So unless you know my old school home phone number, you will not reach me after a certain time at night. And I try to start my day really literally in calmness. I pray. I think about how I want my day to unfold. I don't think about the 1,000 things I have to do. I really literally think about, I'm going to get this accomplished today. I'm going to get that accomplished today. I'm going to get this and this and this. And then you manifest what you want to have happen. And that's one of the things that I have been able to successfully do for myself, and not starting my day in a race, not starting my day looking at Facebook, none of that. I start my day in calmness. And I now even do yoga every week too. So I'm really getting into it, and I like it, because I used to be one of those ladies that started their day in a race, like a chicken with her head cut off every day. And I had to make a decision that I didn't want to be that lady anymore. So I'm not her. Now, tell me, Mike Michalowicz, what is the best book you ever read?
Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell. Boom.
All right. Tipping Point, Malcolm Gladwell. Charreah Jackson, what's the best book you ever read?
Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell. And my own book, Boss Bride, The Powerful Woman's Playbook, at Amazon and Target.
No shame in your shameless plug. All right. Brynne Tillman, tell me, what is the best business book you ever read?
It's not the best book, but the most influential for me.
All right.
The Challenger Sale by CEB, which is now Gartner, and the part 2, which is the Challenger Customer, had the biggest impact on my business and how I go about it.
I love it. I love it. So one of the most impactful books that I ever read, I have a personal book and I have a business book. So the personal most impactful book I ever read was this book called The Salt Eaters by Tony K. Bombaro, that changed my life, because the opening line of that book said, "Are you sure you want to be well, sweetheart?" And I think that there's a lot of people out here who choose misery, who choose to be unhappy, who choose to not make the money that they should be making. And that is something that you can fix. My best business book I ever read, Michael Gerber's The E-Myth, my favorite business book I ever read. Although I have to say, I'm a little bit partial. I did love Profit First. It really did speak to me, Mike Michalowicz. I'm going to give you some love on that. So now, listen, I have appreciated all of you so very much, but we are out of time. So quickly, Brynne, tell people where they can find you online. What is your website?
My website is socialsaleslink.com, but you're better off coming to my LinkedIn profile. I'm currently the only Brynne Tillman on LinkedIn. And you can get, and my Twitter is @Brynne Tillman.
Wonderful. Charreah Jackson, how can people find you online?
Well, at Charreah, my name is probably popping up. Follow me. Instagram, I'm probably Instagram the most active there. Twitter, Facebook, coming with YouTube. And of course, you can get your free chapter of Boss Bride at bossbride.com right now.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Mike Michalowicz, nobody can spell your last name, but tell them where to find you online, please, sir.
Yeah, so I'm cursed with the most long Polish name on the planet. No one can spell it. So I found out a hack. My nickname in high school was Mike Motorbike. The irony is I've never driven a motorcycle, but if you go to mikemotorbike.com, it'll get you to my site.
I love
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being with me tonight on Small Biz Chat Live. Next week, we're going to be back on Twitter with Deb Muller, and she's the founder of HR Acuity. And she's going to be talking to us about what happens if you get a Me Too situation in your small business. And that's nothing to play with. So we're going to be talking to her. But listen, the mission of Small Biz Chat is to end small business failure. I'm Melinda Emerson. I'm the Small Biz Lady, America's #1 small business expert. And I hope you've enjoyed learning from my experts and me tonight on how to run a successful small business. Can't wait to see you next time. And remember this, you never lose in business. Either you win or you learn. We'll see you next time.